Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Welcome to episode 269 of the Full-Time FBA Show. Today, we're talking about the holiday survival guide for Amazon sellers. I mean, we want to make it through the holidays, right? And we still want our Amazon business intact, right? So let's talk about this today. Myself and Rebecca, my co-host. How are you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing good. I like how you assume that everybody wants to survive the holidays. Sometimes it's like, I want to thrive during the holidays, not just survive. I want to do more than just survive.
I thought you were about to say, there might be people who are like, no, I want to crash and burn this holiday season.
No crashing and burning, but let's do more than survive.
Yes. Well, first we'll survive, and then we'll kick it up a notch and definitely move towards thriving. This week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
All right, before we get started on today's topic, let's make sure that you are signed up for our newsletter. We have a newsletter at Full-Time FBA. You can go to fulltimefba.com and sign up to make sure that you are on the list to get those updates that come out once a week or so. They have links to our newest videos and training and all the good stuff that you need to know to turn part-time hours into a full-time income through Amazon FBA. So on the day that today's podcast drops, we're going to be entering into the month of December. And that means that 2 out of the 3 months of Q4 are gone. Gone, bye-bye. So October and November are completed, and we are now in the final month of Q4 for this year. But hopefully you remember what we told you in last week's show. That was selling on Amazon. If you plan and execute your Amazon business the way we teach our coaching students, then your 3 best months of the year can actually be November, December, and January.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, January is almost every year our 3rd best month when it comes to sales and profits. The biggest reason January is so awesome for us is that we don't ease up on our sourcing in December. And we continue to feed the beast, meaning we continue to send inventory to Amazon throughout December. And our Amazon shelves, they're just really well stocked for the month of January. And those January buyers just continue to buy, because it ain't no lie, baby, buy.
No, that was not ready for that. Okay, so if we need to keep pressing hard in December so that our January sales can be amazing, how do we actually survive the holidays and go into January thriving? That's what we're going to be talking about in the rest of today's episode, and I'm going to try really hard to make sure that Stephen doesn't sing the rest of this episode.
Yeah. I mean, I can't make any promises. Sometimes songs just come to me and I can't, my filter doesn't work. Anyway, so let's just jump into the obvious conundrum here. We don't want to miss out on January sales, so we definitely need to keep pressing hard when it comes to sourcing in December. But if we press too hard on work-related things during the holidays, then we might experience burnout and not survive the holidays. So what can we do? The basic answer is to find the happy middle between making sure work is getting done, but that we're also finding times of strategic rest so we can avoid that burnout.
And the number one way to do that is to become a planning master. Planning your work time, sticking with it, planning your rest time, and sticking with it. I know people like to plan their work time. I mean, there's people who are just natural planners. Mm-hmm. There are others who have to really work at it. So if you're running a business, you know that you need to be planning. But are you planning your rest time also?
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it seems like every year we always say December is just so crazy busy with work-related things, trying to wrap up the year at work. And then there's family gatherings and lots of church events for the holidays and just friends wanting to hang out, and the list goes on. So here's what you need to do. Decide today, before things get crazy hectic for the rest of December and into the holidays, decide what your priorities are. And you're going to want to choose some business priorities, but also choose some social priorities and some self-rest priorities, family priorities. Rank them from most important to least, and then plan out your schedule.
Just know this, plan in some flex time, because we just really think we can do so much more than we actually have time to do and time to focus on things. And so if you plan out your December and January, make sure that you look at your priorities and make sure that you do the most important things first, but also let go of things that are just not as high up on that priority list for you.
And if you've got a full-time or even a part-time job, then you already know how tight your time is going to get for Amazon stuff that you need to get done in addition to all of those other responsibilities. So be sure that both Amazon activities and family activities and also that time for rest are planned and scheduled. And if you just think, I'll find time to work on Amazon sometime later, then chances are you're just not going to find that time. You're not going to make that time. And if you think, I'll find time to catch up on rest later is never going to get here.
Unless you get so sick that your body forces you to rest.
Right. And you don't want that.
Yeah.
So schedule all of this. Literally put it on your schedule. Your work time, your family time, your rest time, your Amazon time, your me time. Schedule it all. And you actually might find that you like doing that kind of time blocking, and you may resolve to keep that new scheduling habit all going into the new year.
Yeah, scheduling really is the secret ingredient to successfully balancing your personal life and your business needs during the holidays.
I have been doing a form of this called power planning that I learned from Sam Laura Brown. She's on Instagram. Go find her. She's the Perfectionism Project. Can't remember right now which one it is. Anyway, Perfectionism, Sam Laura Brown, you'll find her out there. And she teaches this method of power planning that is really helpful. And the first thing you do in power planning is that you schedule when you're going to do your power planning, which that sounds like overkill, but it seriously is the best way to approach this, is to plan a time when you're going to do your planning. I put that on my calendar once a week, and then I sit down and I plan out that week, using the methods that she has covered, and also kind of some tweaks that I've done for myself. But it really has been a way over the last year or so that I've been able to make solid plans for work and family time and rest and stick with them because they're manageable. This isn't about just being more organized and being more committed to planning. It's about really planning well.
And so that's kind of a little bit of an overview of power planning. And if you work with a spouse or a partner and, you can kind of do what we do, which is called a power check-in. We also put that on the calendar as well, which is a focus time where we make sure that we're on the same page, focusing on the same goals with the right priorities. And even if your Amazon business is a one-person job, this power planning can really help you get more accomplished in your Amazon business.
Yeah, Sam Laura Brown is the one that I learned about power planning from, but Stephen and I just kind of made up the whole power check-in thing because, I do my power planning. He does his own type of planning, but I also like to have times, at least once a week, if not more, where we're sitting down to kind of go over some stuff. We don't take too long to do it, just a few minutes of a power check-in. In fact, we're going to do that right after we finish recording this episode so that we can make sure that we have the rest of this week all organized and coordinated. And then another good tip when it comes to making sure you're focusing on the right things that you need to be doing to continue your Amazon business growth throughout the holidays is this. Always have an escape plan. Now that sounds odd. I don't mean this literally, although I guess it's never a bad idea to know where the closest exit is. That's kind of, worst case scenario thinkers like myself tend to do that kind of exercise. But I'm talking about sometimes it's okay to want to figuratively escape. So have your escape planned out. Introverts out there, you know what I'm talking about. Whether this is escaping to go for a run by yourself, grab some coffee, take a nap, read a book. Maybe for you, escaping is grabbing a friend to go do any of those things together, like going for a run or grabbing coffee. I don't know if you could take a nap or read a book with a friend and it be the same. But anyways, sometimes, you're going through these seasons of real busy times and it's just all you can do that it just gets draining. And so you want the holidays to be enjoyable and exciting and not draining. So if you find that you're getting burned out and tired and exhausted, put out that fire and don't for 1 second feel bad about needing to find a way to escape the stress.
Yeah, there's something that Rebecca and I remind each other from time to time, and that is this phrase: all we can do is all we can do. And we realize we can't do it all. We can't be able to exceed in every single area in our life. All we can do is all we can do, and we can let go and find a lot of rest in that. And my favorite way to unwind from everything that comes with trying to balance work-related goals and all that comes with the holidays is, by cleaning out the garage or the closet. I just love it. I love cleaning out the garage. I love organizing stuff. I love the process of bringing order from something that's chaotic, but that's just me. So think about what helps you rest and relax, to get your mind off things, to have your escape route planned and be ready for you when necessary.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that organizing the closet is not an escape for me. So this is to each his own.
Yes, yeah. But that's why we're good together. The closets get messed up, I'll organize them.
Exactly. You can organize the closet while I hang out on the couch and watch Gilmore Girls and drink some tea. So that's my thing to do to relax. Whatever you have that you like to do, make sure that you have that on standby for when you need it this holiday season.
Okay, so let's get back on track with meeting your Amazon business goals during the holidays. And one good thing to do is make sure you're getting all of Amazon's important announcements. Amazon will almost always email you with an important notification about upcoming rule changes or fee updates, anything else important like that. And then let me just cut into this topic right here, because actually Amazon announced recent updates for 2025 when it comes to fee changes. And there's like almost zero fee increases.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there right now.
Woohoo!
But always make sure you are understanding what's coming up, what's changing, so you can pivot, so you can make whatever changes you need to. But seriously, it's the holidays, y'all. Sometimes we can miss out on important announcements. And so it's a good idea to check Seller Central for any updates. So if you normally just rely on emails or notifications from Amazon, double check your Seller Central account. Make sure that you're not missing any important updates, such as account health warnings, listing violations, restock opportunities. Even if you saw an email about a new update or a new guideline, checking the Seller Central page for these things might be a good reminder, because have you taken action on that update yet? Maybe not. So you can get a reminder by looking in Seller Central for the new thing Amazon is announcing, so you can take action so you can survive the holidays.
I'll add to that. Also, make sure that your seller app is up to date on your phone. They've recently updated the appearance of the homepage on that app, where it gives you more information about like your account health and things like that. So that's another good way.
Yeah.
Just open up your account and it will tell you right there if you've got anything you need to pay attention to.
Perfect.
And then another stressful thing about running an Amazon business during the holidays is if you're just a one or a two-person business, it's just hard. It's stressful because you can't really do everything you want at this time of year. And you've just got a lot that's on your plate that you are the only one that can handle it. And that's why Stephen and I are constantly asking ourselves the question, what can we outsource? What can we take off our plates? It still needs to be taken care of. We don't need to just completely delete it from our business. Somebody needs to take care of it, but who can we hire to help?
Yeah. And so like if you hire a trusted neighbor, or an older teenager, or a responsible friend from church, anyone like that who might be able to help you prep your inventory to send to Amazon, or even just send your online arbitrage or wholesale finds to a prep center. Like our prep center that we use is called My Prep Center. And so it's kind of a confusing name, but My Prep Center, I love My Prep Center. That's all caps, My Prep Center. Anyway, that's who we use. And yes, it's a confusing name, but that's what we use. And we recommend for you to do it as well. But go check them out, fulltimefba.com/myprepcenter. But overall, outsourcing certain aspects of your Amazon business might give you some more breathing room. And just taking that breath, being able to experience the holidays and keep your Amazon business going. And it's a good balance to have, and it's what you need to do to survive.
One thing that might increase during the last few weeks of Q4 is that you might experience a rise in customer communications. That's customers who are asking you questions or seeking clarity on an issue or just whatever they might want to ask you as the seller before they buy an item. And you might already know that Amazon wants us to reply to any customer communication in under 24 hours, but I would suggest aiming for an even quicker response, and especially this time of year. I would say that if your response time is closer to within 12 hours, then you might even get a bump in your customer service metrics. I'm not 100% certain of that, but I do know that having a timely response to those type of things is important to Amazon, and it will be reflected in your metrics in some way.
Yeah, and the reason why we think it's important to do that is because years ago, actually, Amazon during Q4 made it a rule that all customer communications needed to be replied to in under 12 hours. Usually it's 24 hours, but during Q4, they made it in under 12 hours, and they don't require that anymore for Amazon sellers, but they kept track of that metric in the past. And so it's already built into their system for them to continue to keep tracking of it. And I don't know, I would think that it might improve our customer service metrics if we're able to reply to customer communications in under 12 hours. That's my goal year round, but especially in Q4. So if a customer ever communicates with you via the customer communications messaging system, always reply within 12 hours. Even if you reply as, I don't know the answer to your question, but I will look into that and get back to you as soon as I can. No matter what, always reply.
Yeah, any message you get from a customer, give them a reply soon. Even if an answer is not needed, a reply is always needed. There's a difference between the two. So just simply have a nice day is a good way to close the conversation. And if the customer keeps replying themselves, you have the option to click on the no response needed button, but only do that after replying at least once.
Okay, so I don't know about you. You might not have been worried about surviving the holidays with your Amazon business before you listen to this episode, but now you might be starting to stress out a little bit, but just hear me out. It's all going to be okay. We've talked about prepping for the worst case scenarios in this episode, but for the majority of you, you're not going to come anywhere close to crashing and burning with your Amazon business. But hopefully this episode has helped you prepare to make some good choices when it comes to balancing the holidays with your Amazon FBA business.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As always, you can find the links that were mentioned, including for my prep center, in the show notes for this episode at fulltimefba.com/269, because this is episode number 269.
And next week on the Full-Time FBA Show, we're going to discuss thrift store strategies for sourcing Amazon FBA inventory. We look forward to talking with you next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today, so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.